It's been a long time since we've seen anything new from Arrows, but finally, in my hands, I've got the brand new 50mm Avanti S. It's not bad for 3S. Great looking, little powerful, hand launching, belly landing EDF. For those of you that like to fly in smaller spaces, keep the budget down to a bearable level, this is a great airplane because it flies on a 3S battery, so it's very much budget friendly. My favorite thing about this particular setup is the microchip inside. What is that microchip? That is flight stabilization. It's the equivalency of safe, and let me tell you, it works extremely well. What I love about it is you bind it to your 5th channel most of the time, but because this airplane is a bank and yank without rudder airplane, we are only using 3 channels. So our 4th channel is blank. We're jumping down to our 5th, assigning it to the 5th channel, and you click it on and off and it works. It's either on and it's working, or it's off and it's not. And I love that. One more pro tip about the little chip in there. It comes with double-sided sticky foam. And I realized that half of mine, the part that connects to the foam airplane, it wasn't very sticky, so I recommend actually gluing that in place, because if you're flying in the flight stabilized mode and that thing comes loose, your plane's gonna come crashing down to the ground. So it's very important that that is in there very securely. If you don't want to glue it in place, I have one of the most top secret weapons accessories that people don't know about in the RC industry that I use for my receivers and flight stabilizers all the time. And I've only told one friend in the hobby about it, and he's obsessed.
And who found it?
My wife.
Yeah.
Got it for Christmas last year, and I use it obsessively. I also use it to hang things in my daughter's room and stuff. So anyway, that top secret weapon accessory for all you RC flyers will be linked in the description box below. We're gonna maiden this plane today. Hopefully it does well. I'm coming in with completely an open mind. Ooh, and here's a neat thing too before I forget. This can pop, oh, it's magnetic. It pops on and off, and it gives us access to our EDF and our brushless outrunner, which I think is really cool. So, that's backwards. Let's fly.
I guess it is a hand launcher, huh?
Sure is.
Your favorite.
Well, with flight stabilized, it's not too bad.
Which way are you throwing it?
Toward the hill.
Okay, have fun with that. Toward the hill, hand launch. That's our favorite. Not. Oh boy, get up, go, go. Oh, clear the hill. Oh, gotta love that crosswind.
Not too bad.
There you go.
It's heavier than it wants to be. It recommends flying on a 1300 milliamp LiPo. And I've got a 2200 milliamp, which is probably about as max as you'd want to go. But
you've made it kind of nose heavy.
A hair, yeah, just a hair. And it needs a little trimming and stuff too. But we're in that flight stabilized mode, cruising around about 3/4 throttle. Let's do a full throttle pass. It is bank and yank only. We got to remember that. Here we go. Here's full throttle. It's not bad for 3S. What I love about this thing is the collar and the paint scheme on it. It looks very much like Formula One, Newman Haas Racing, just kind of like race car collars. I love that. Got that cool little checkered pattern paired with red and white, and it just pops really well. Here in just a second on this next pass, I'm going to level off and climb and kick it out of the stabilized mode. We do this at a higher altitude to make sure there's no weird trim tendencies. Just like that, it nosed down quite a bit, so I'm trying to trim that up really quickly. And then we should be able to throw a roll with this. Do it kind of high. Okay, nice little roll rate. This is just a good little budget 50mm airplane. Now, I actually don't know the price on it yet because it's brand new. We'll have it linked in the description box below so you guys can check it out for yourself. Know that using that link does help to support our channel and our family at no extra cost to you. So if you like our content, you want to support us, you plan on buying something anyway, click the link, pull it up, buy something, helps to support us. Very basic little airplane, really. If you want a budget new EDF, this is the way to go. this is the way to go because you got the flight stabilization, so it's very good for beginners. There we go, that wasn't too bad. Holds inverted well. Try it a little lower over here. Roll out of it. That's really cool. I love the underneath side of this airplane. You know, I personally like having a rudder, but when you're dealing on a budget side of things, you really can't complain too much. There's the bottom of it. Doesn't that look great? And Abby, we're gonna probably shoot for about a 4.5 minute flight or so today, just because it is an EDF and I'm cooking it mostly full throttle. Let's climb it and see how it does. Where does it want to stall? It likes to pull left, that's for sure. So it got about 2 mistakes high on that climb. Can't snap anything like this, really. That's okay. Actually, that's a pretty good snap with no rudder. Let's try it on this, coming out of this. Snapping it. It's not too bad considering we have no rudder. That was pretty good snap. Oh, that made me happy. I wasn't expecting that at all. Got to build the speed up to really pull that off. You know, show passes, knife edges, those really are almost impossible to be done without rudder, but you know, you can kind of kick the wing up, hold it for a second and get back down. It sounds pretty good for a little 3S. Listen to this. Not a bad sound at all, not a bad sound.
I think you're over 4 minutes now. I'm not exactly sure.
So we're gonna have to land right to left into our corner, our back left corner. And let's see, I think I'm just gonna keep it out of safe to give me a little more safe.
Are you gonna land
Oh, we're definitely losing our power.
in front of us or over
behind?
Okay.
Okay, just back left corner, bleeding it all off here as much as I can, and then we'll flare. Ow, you know what?
Shoo!
Tall grass just grabbed
It did.
Canopy launched off, but that's okay. So to be completely honest, I may have even mounted my battery too far. Well, it threw it forward. I think I had it mounted.
You didn't even use the Velcro.
No, I didn't. I think I had it mounted about right here. And really, I probably could have scooted it back a little bit more. There's still room in there for the wires for sure. And what I like about this, being a smaller 3S EDF, there's ample space in there. I mean, you could fly on a bigger battery, but I think any heavier than that and it's really going to struggle because that's too much nose weight. They recommend a 1300 milliamp battery and I'm on a 2200. Another nice thing about this plane, and a lot of people don't know this, is even though this has an XT60 plug, and I love this about XT60, it might be a little snug, but you can get your EC3 or IC3 batteries to fit in most XT60s, but some XT60s don't work like that. So it's nice to know specifically that this one does. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm flying on a little basic dumb Spectrum receiver that I've tucked down in here. I'll show you the location. I think it's a really good spot underneath that flight stabilizer. This is just an AR620. You can link it in the description box below for you. The nice thing about that is because, I mean, I think that one actually does have safe, but this is easier to use than safe. It really is. I just got to hand it to him. I really wish safe was as easy as that. Mount your receiver nice and level and assign it to one channel and turn it on and it works. That's the way it should be. That's the way they all should be. But the one thing about safe is if you buy airplanes with the bind and fly safe, they bind up and work perfectly because they've been fine-tuned to that airplane. So anyway, this is a very, very, very good budget option for a 50 millimeter, great looking race car-esque plug and play airplane that comes with the flight stabilization. And I just think that's awesome. The hand launch was good. I'm horrible at hand launching, but I handled that really well. The belly landing was a really good indication of where a lot of guys fly, which is pretty tall grass. So, you know, you might lose your canopy on that landing, but it's okay. Didn't really do anything to the plane. And we'll fly again another day. As I said, this will be linked in the description box below. It is a newer EDF and that's extremely awesome. And using that link does help to support our channel and our family, which is kind of crazy because of all the medical stuff we've had this year. So it really does help us a lot and we really thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. And while we're on the subject of thanks, I want to say massive thanks to God for blessing us with this day. I didn't really expect to get out here and fly anything today, especially a new EDF, but I'm grateful that I got to, and even more grateful that I got to share this experience and let you guys know about this plane. And for that, I thank the big guy upstairs. I also want to say a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters, old and new. Because of our medical bill expenses, we've had a few people step up and help us out. A massive thanks to a couple just outstanding people that help us beyond belief. I don't know what we've done to deserve everybody's time, and just, it means the world to us that you guys would take your hard-earned money and help support us and our family, so we thank you guys so much. If you have a need for speed and you want to see something with a little bit more power than this, but is still fairly budget friendly, we'll have a great hand-picked video popping up right about now just for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.